Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to know the context in which India crafted its foreign policy, understand the role of India in non-alignment movement, analyze how did India conduct its relations with China and Pakistan, elaborate Indian nuclear policy's evolution. International context. Often, internal politics of a country are impacted by the external relations of the country. It is the same with India. Let us see how India's external relations were shaped since independence. International context. India gained independence in a world that witnessed 2 world wars. Countries were grappling with reconstruction and a new world body was being set up. Internally, the British left India pauperized, a violent partition to deal with and the challenges of democracy and welfare of the citizens. This is the context of India when it started participating in international affairs. In its conduct of international relations, India decided to respect sovereignty of the world nations and attain security through peace. The same was echoed in the directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy. The directive principles of state policy are laid down in Article 51 of the Constitution. It states that the state shall endeavour to a. Promote international peace and security, b. Maintain just and honourable relations between nations, c. Foster respect for international law and treaty obligations in the dealings of organised people with one another, d. Encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. Developing countries and international relations. At the time of India's independence, many countries got their independence too. Owing to lack of resources and means to put their concerns at the world stage, many of these countries allied with one or the other power bloc that provided assistance to them. At that time, there were 2 power blocs that influenced the world, the United States and the then Soviet Union. A Cold War was beginning between them and India started framing its foreign policy. Nehru's role. From 1946 to 1964, India's foreign policy was formulated and implemented by India's first Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. His foreign policy's objectives were preserve India's sovereignty, protect the territories of India, and achieve economic development at a rapid pace. He wished to achieve this through non-alignment, that is to not align with any of the power bloc, US and USSR. Distance from 2 camps. India pursued independent foreign policy in the form of non-alignment that advocated peace. It did not join any of the blocs and remained neutral. But India was not completely neutral. While it condemned Britain's attack against Egypt over Suez Canal issue, it failed to do the same when USSR attacked Hungary. Despite this, India got aid and assistance from both these blocs. Afro-Asian unity. Under Nehru's leadership, India played an important role in global affairs, especially in Asia and Africa. Nehru advocated Asian unity and in 1947 convened Asian Relations Conference. India supported Indonesia's freedom from the Dutch and opposed racism in South Africa. This engagement reached its peak in 1955 at the Afro-Asia Conference held in Bandung, Indonesia. This led to the formation of Non-Alignment Movement (NAM). NAM's first summit was held in Belgrade in 1961 and Nehru was its co-founder. Tibet issue. The plateau of Tibet is the major reason behind tensions between India and China. Communist China in 1950 had taken control of Tibet region. Many Tibetans opposed this. India tried to persuade China, but owing to the clause of respecting one another's territorial integrity and sovereignty under Panchsheel, India conceded. In 1956, the Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader of Tibet, apprised Nehru of the problems in Tibet. An armed uprising took place in 1958. The Chinese forces suppressed it. Dalai Lama crossed over to India in 1959 and sought asylum. India provided asylum. This didn't go well with China. After this, thousands of Tibetans crossed to India. The Tibetans' cause had found strong support among many parties in India. China made Tibet an autonomous region, which was opposed by Tibetans who claimed that Tibet was never a part of China. They also opposed Chinese settlers as the Tibetans feel that they undermine the religion and culture of Tibet. India's nuclear policy. India undertook its first nuclear explosion in 1974. Nehru always believed in science and technology for the rapid growth of the country. Thus, the nuclear program was developed under the guidance of Homi J. Bhabha to generate nuclear energy. Nehru was not in favor of nuclear weapons and argued for nuclear disarmament. After nuclear tests by Communist China in 1964, the five nuclear powers of the time, US, UK, France, USSR, China, Taiwan, then representing China, tried to impose Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty (NPT). India opposed NPT for its discriminatory nature. India termed its nuclear tests as a peaceful explosion. It was conducted during a period of economic turmoil in the country. India's nuclear program. India opposed international non-proliferation treaties for them being selectively applicable on countries other than the permanent member of the UN. In 1998, India conducted a series of nuclear tests. As a response, Pakistan too conducted the tests. The region became vulnerable for a nuclear exchange. Sanctions were imposed on both the countries. India laid a nuclear doctrine of minimum deterrence. It professes no first use by India, thereby the trust of the international community. In conclusion, India conducted its external relations with a general agreement among the political parties on issues of national integration, protection of international boundaries, and issues of national interest. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learnt. External relations of a country are often influenced by domestic politics. India crafted its foreign policy in the context of it getting independence after the Second World War, beginning of a Cold War and liberation of many countries from colonial rule. India's quest for an independent foreign policy led it to lead the Non-Alignment Movement (NAM) for global peace. The country took the leadership position among the newly liberated African and Asian countries and thus played an important role at the global stage. Nehru's trust on the Communist government of China blinded him from the eventualities. China annexed Tibet, entered into border disputes with India, which ultimately led to the War of 1962. India helped Bangladesh achieve its freedom from Pakistan. The nuclear tests of India, though condemned by the world powers, with no first use doctrine, India gained their trust.